There's no UFC this week, but some news has just come out for Misfits 016 and 017. Let's get right into it. But before we do, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, follow, hit the bell icon so you know if I want to upload. Let's go. Okay, so this is MAMS 017 announcement.
Hey guys, I've got some really exciting news. Gonna make some fight announcements. Not all of them, but some fight announcements for Misfits. And
Just so it doesn't echo, sorry.
17 in Dublin, Ireland, August 31st. Want you to know there's going to be a couple of additional fights.
I am going to say something here. He is trying to do a Dana White. As much as people are going to go, no he's not, he is. This is exactly how Dana White announced these fights. Every past few fight cards he's announced it, just posted on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. Now he's actually standing in front of comic book art piece at least. I can't tell who it is, but normally Dana White would stand in front of his fight card and yeah, announce it there. MAMS Taylor isn't doing that, but it's fairly similar to what he's doing.
It's coming for 16 on August 10th as well.
Okay, so
and also
August 16th, or August 10th, sorry, is Misfits 016. August 31st, I think he said, is KSI's card. Why are we doing two cards in 1 month?
We have the biggest extravaganza, all the fights you've ever wanted to see, guys, happening on a super card. Just around the corner, a little bit after Dublin.
Around September to December time, that's when you're expecting the big card, which should have people like Deji versus, I don't know, Alex Wasabi 2 maybe, Deji versus Joe Weller, Ethan Payne versus Joe Weller. I'm trying to just throw names out right now. A super card would have to entail with fights that we've wanted for so long.
Ireland, so get ready for that. And if you're wondering where some of your favorites are, and they're not on this Dublin Ireland card, that's where they're going to be. But also, just so you know, this is not a bad thing. It gives us an opportunity to introduce some amazing new superstars who deserve it.
I agree with this, but also I disagree. A KSI card would introduce superstars. A little super fight card, a lot of people might not watch it. I don't think you're really introducing that many people.
To stage and deserve to be on this pay-per-view. Let's kick it off with Gabe Silver making his return.
I'm excited for that.
Weddy from Ireland. Okay?
I don't know who Weddy is.
Weddy,
I don't mean no disrespect.
His butt off, and he's got a winning MMA record. Really good challenge.
And that makes it a good fight. That makes it a good fight.
We have Ireland's own Ben Williams fighting against Warren the Mechanic Spencer.
What did Ben Williams last fight on? Was it Misfits or did he fight on an actual pro card? I remember watching his fight. I can't remember who he fought on, but Ben Williams looked good.
Now, that's Andrew and Tristan Tate's right-hand guy.
I don't like that, but I like what MAMS is going to say. I've already tried to film this video last night and it didn't work. I like the fact that he has some fights, but I don't like the fact that you're bringing in Andrew Tate's and Tristan Tate's right-hand guy. Especially after the tweet that Andrew Tate made the other week of saying the N-word, which was insane.
And him and Ben have actually beaten the same guy, and Warren beat
I like
the guy
that.
a little bit quicker.
I like that.
This is going to be a highly competitive fight. The winner will be fighting Jarvis, so it's for the #1 contendership, mandatory slot. Then we have Jake Cornish versus Mike Edwards in the cruiserweight round 1.
Interesting.
Going to be a banger of a fight.
Not sure how I feel about that fight, though.
Fighting Le'Veon Bell, who is the tournament's favorite, but let's see how it goes. Another one here is DTG versus Minicon.
I like that one.
Minicon
That's a good fight.
Stepped up to replace DK Money. This should be an absolute banger. Two heavyweights cut down to cruiserweight in search of cruiserweight gold. We have Sami Hamed making his debut. None other than Prince Nassim Hamed's son, Prince Sami Hamed, making his debut, looking to make a statement, fighting well-known TikToker Jesse Clark. And Jesse is no slouch. So if you're underestimating Jesse, yes,
I am,
it's true. None of them have ever fought before, but they've both trained a lot. Let's see how this goes.
I am definitely doubting him.
Sammy on his debut here. Then we have, of course, the highly anticipated fight between Danny Aarons and Bevo.
Good fight. Good fight. Now, on Instagram, Bevo posted a picture of him throwing hooks and him fucking sticking his chin up. If Bevo fights like that, do I even have to say it? He's getting slept. But we haven't really seen much from Danny Aarons, or at least I haven't seen anything from Danny Aarons. So Danny Aarons is working behind closed doors. I like that. Bevo, you keep sticking your chin up, bud, and yeah, it's going to be over.
I know Danny's taken it very seriously. I know Bevo's been boxing on and off for a few years.
I don't like that from MAMS there. Danny Aarons has been taking it so seriously. Bevo's been boxing on and off. It's like, okay, so Danny Aarons wants this and Bevo's just coming in for clout, basically. If it's like that, Bevo's lost. Bevo's gonna lose.
So this is gonna be a lot of fun between these guys. Then we have the lightweight champion, Dean the Great, making his return, fighting once again.
This fight, I disagree. This says it's for the title. But isn't there a tournament going on right now for this title? Dean shouldn't be fighting anyone for the title because he's supposed to be at the top of the bill for the tournament. Whoever wins the tournament fights Dean the Great. So if Dean loses this fight, Dave Fogarty is now at the top. You have to have this whole tournament fight Dave Fogarty. So I feel like this is a bit of a stupid fight for Misfits. I mean, they're probably sitting there thinking, yeah, Dean the Great's got this easily. Because why would you risk this? You're risking your champion. I feel like they've definitely seen something here that goes, yeah, Dean the Great's going to easily wash this guy. And then we'll move on. Which sucks. I hate to see that, but it is what it is.
The best friend and photographer of Conor McGregor. He has a winning record in MMA.
Anyone who has anything to do with McGregor loses. This is a fact. Dylan Dennis lost. The UFC Ultimate Fighter, what's it? Season 34 or something like that, 35. I was watching it. All of them lost. So yeah, if you have McGregor in your corner or McGregor a part of your life, you're gonna lose.
Don't underestimate Dave Fogarty.
I will, because of
goal. He is out for the win here. And then of course we have KSI versus Slim and Anthony Taylor.
Okay, and then on this fight card, I gotta say I'm not a fan of this. Now I've seen on Twitter someone say who had the harder comeback, Jake Paul or KSI. Now I'm not here to dick suck anyone or dick ride. KSI, I believe, has a little bit of a harder comeback because Jake fought Nate Diaz, and Nate Diaz, trust me, he's no piece of cake. But I feel like Nate Diaz didn't take it as serious. I think Nate Diaz just didn't give a shit. Anthony Taylor has wanted this fight for a long time, for clout and all that. They all have. They've all wanted it for clout. But the one person who I believe will be the hardest in there is Slim. I feel like Slim truly wants this. I feel like Slim is not going to be no easy cakewalk. Nate Diaz was trolling, looking at the crowd. Nate Diaz was doing everything. Nate Diaz was doing what Nate Diaz does. If these guys can stay in there, this could be a tough fight for JJ. Now, I'm not going to say, oh, if KSI wins this fight, he should fight Jake Paul next. He'll beat Jake Paul next. Jake Paul went from losing to Tommy Fury, fighting Nate Diaz, fighting Anderson Silva, I want to say, then fighting two pro boxers they've got a nice padded record, and then they lose against a tough competition. But I feel like this, as much as this is definitely a harder fight than the Nate Diaz fight. Now, if we talk about all of Jake's fights combined, I've still got to say these guys are harder than anyone Jake's fought because they actually want it. They really want this. I mean, Ryan Borland didn't do much. Andre August didn't get to do much. If KSI does what Jake done, then you can sit there and be like, these guys weren't that good. But if we're just basing it off the Nate Diaz fight, I feel like this fight is a lot harder than a Nate Diaz fight. If KSI was to fight Nate Diaz is just going to troll and do what he does.
He didn't want to take on Slim by himself. He didn't want to give that clout to AT by himself. He said, I'll take them both on.
Yeah, I don't like that though. Why are you sitting there being like, I don't want to give the clout to this guy, and then you're proceeding to give the clout to him? You can't say that. If you're sitting there saying, oh, I don't want to give it to him on his own, you're still giving him clout at the end of the day. That whole point from MAMS Taylor there just made no sense.
By myself. More fights to come, guys. Thank you very much for your support, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, MAMS Taylor. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was FaZe Temper versus Josh Bruckner. I like that fight. I'm here for that fight. I feel like the winner of this fight will go into the finals against Le'Veon Bell, but we'll have to wait and see. I've heard Samuel Erickson has pulled out. Leah Gotti versus Amber Fields. I don't know either of these. I'm assuming they're only fan models. Wally Sharks versus Ace Musa. I think Wally Sharks wins, but Ace Musa hopefully won't be so easy, because I'd like to see Wally Sharks have to work for the win. Yuddy Gang versus Argentinian King. Now, we've seen Argentinian King. He didn't look great, and Yuddy Gang had a tough fight against Lil Cray Cray, and it was a good fight. I feel like the first round, Yuddy was losing, and it kind of seemed like previous fight against those two was going to go the same way, and then Yuddy Gang pulled it out of the bag, and it was amazing. I'm quite excited for Amir Cashman Anderson for his debut. I don't know who he's going to fight, but I'm excited for that. So that is Misfits next month. I'm excited for it. I'm ready for it, and yeah, that's just my thoughts and my opinions. What do you guys think? And who do you think wins all these fights? I'll catch you in a bit. Take care. Peace.